What you reap is what you sow.
We're back at the Warrior Fight Store in Pickering, Ontario with Matt the Hammer Hamill. Matt, you have a fight against Mark Muniz coming up at UFC 96. You both have collegiate wrestling backgrounds. How do you see this fight taking place?
Well, I don't care if it's the wrestling background or the world class or anything wrestling background. But I know in my knowledge I have a great wrestling background. So there's no need to be worried, you know. I've been wrestling for 27 years. So I'm sure that the other wrestlers who have more experience, but it doesn't matter what they're leveling, but I still can overcome them, you know. So, but there's nothing to be worried about.
And when you fought Rich Franklin, you called that maybe one of your more disappointing fights. Now, would you want to fight him again?
Well, I have to be honest with you, you know, I'm just too friendly and I'm too nice. But I had to work on the friendship out the door. You know, so me and Rich, we grew up together in Ohio. Ohio is my home state. And so if it's on my way, I'm sure we're gonna have a rematch, you know, down the road. But right now I'm just back to square one, you know, because I lost the fight. You know, so I'm just trying to get back to the winning column, you know. But if it happens, you know, for sure it will happen.
Okay, so if you do beat Mark Muniz, where do you see yourself in the division? What's your next step?
Well, right now I'm doing one fight at a time. I have a fight in March 7th against Mark Mono. He's undefeated in WC. I'm hearing and he's probably the best fighter in the WC. And the UFC look at him, he's probably a good fight for 205 division. So the opponent want to fight me. So I'm more like I'll be happy to fight him. You know, so after that one, I'm just, you know, let it flow and who's the next step. So I let UFC do all the work. So I'm not the one that call out the name. The only thing I only call out the name is Mike Bisping. You know, so he's from England. You know, but unfortunately, I lost the fight against him, you know. But I was hoping there was a rematch against Mike. But he went down 185, and I can't get down 185. I don't want to become like a toothpick, you know. But if you go up to 205, you know where to find me. You're good.
All right. Now, in 2009, there's a movie coming out that you've inspired. How much creative control do you have over that?
Well, I mean, in the beginning, there was a lot of controversy, you know. They want a deaf actor, you know. So, but in the beginning, we had a hearing actor, you know, but the deaf comedian was not really happy about it. So I'm more of open communicating, with being more of like a moral judgment. So what if they want, if they want, sure. I'm not like ignore them, but. Finally, we got a deaf actor, but we haven't found it yet. But we just changed and modified a little bit. But the movie could have come up about in August or November. So, but it's still in project. It could be a great inspiration, a great movie. It's about the early life until college and IT and freshman year. So it should be a great story, you know, how I became successful.
Now, you spoke about inspiration. How important is it for you to be inspirational to everybody, not just the hearing impaired?
Oh, really, really important. Because you don't see a lot of handicaps be really successful, have you? No.
Yeah,
well,
really.
I mean, every time I'm on the fight, there'll be a 100 million deaf community all over the world. Like, oh, we gotta stop. We go back on the TV. You know, just watching the floors and watching on the TV. Because I'm the only deaf fighter in the UFC, you know, so, but I'm more of like not give up person, but I just want to go way beyond that no one ever gone before, you know. But I just believe that handicap can really achieve something, and I don't have a measure way to know all the handicap, but all I can say is to give up and, you know, to follow your dream, you know. So I just believe myself, you know, to look at what my heart says. But of course I got it from my grandfather, you know. But without my grandfather, I would be really successful. You know, so it was good. That's what the movie's all about. You know, so you'll see like upcoming movie.
And finally, before we go, you always seem to change your music when you come out to fight, and it's always something different. What are you going to go with this time when you fight Mark Muniz?
Well, yeah, well, Doc Home, he's my trainer, and he has a great take. But I can't learn the music, you know. Yeah. But he had to rhyme and fit what should I get for walking song. But the next walking story could be awesome, but I can't say, you know. So you're gonna have to find out, you know, when I get to the fight on March 7th.
All
You're
right.
good.
Thank you very much. That's Matt the Hammer Hamill at the Warrior Fight Store in Pickering, Ontario.
You're good.
Yeah.
How long? Not long! Cause what you reap is what you sow!